Mark Eaton died at 64 in a horrifying crash that stunned the basketball world. The former Utah Jazz legend was found unresponsive in the middle of a road just 1 block from his Park City home. What makes this tragedy even more heartbreaking is that he died doing what he loved most, riding his bicycle through the peaceful Utah mountains he called home for decades. On May 28, 2021, a passerby discovered the 7'4" giant lying motionless on the pavement. Emergency crews rushed him to the hospital, but it was too late. The Summit County Sheriff's Office confirmed there were no witnesses and no vehicle was involved. This gentle soul, who had touched so many lives, passed away during what should have been just another quiet bike ride in his neighborhood. But Mark Eaton's story isn't defined by how it ended. It's defined by one of the most unlikely journeys in sports history. This is a man who played just 3 minutes of basketball in his entire high school career. 3 minutes. Most kids play more than that in a single quarter. After graduation, Mark didn't chase college scholarships or NBA dreams. Instead, he enrolled at the Arizona Automotive Institute and became a mechanic. For 3 years, Mark worked with his hands, fixing cars and trucks in California. Basketball wasn't even a thought in his mind. He was 21 years old, standing over 7 feet tall, and completely content working in a garage. Then fate stepped in, wearing the uniform of a junior college coach named Tom Lubin. Lubin spotted Mark and saw something the young man couldn't see in himself. Despite Mark's complete lack of interest in basketball, the coach convinced him to give the sport another try. Mark enrolled at Cypress College, where he finally began to understand his potential. His team won a California state championship, and suddenly this former mechanic was attracting attention from major college programs. UCLA offered Mark a scholarship, and he jumped at the chance. But even at one of the most prestigious basketball programs in the country, Mark struggled to find playing time. During his 2 years with the Bruins, he played a total of 47 minutes. That's less than 1 full game spread across 2 entire seasons. Most players would have quit, but Mark approached every practice like it was his game. He treated the bench as his classroom and the practice court as his laboratory. Instead of getting discouraged, he worked harder. Basketball legend Wilt Chamberlain even gave him advice that helped clarify his role on the court. Mark understood that his height was a gift, but he needed to develop the skills to use it effectively. When the 1982 NBA draft arrived, most teams passed on Mark because of his limited college experience. The Utah Jazz, however, saw potential where others saw risk. They selected him in the 4th round, 72nd overall, viewing him as a long-term project. As Jazz coach Frank Layden famously said, "You can't teach height." The Jazz signed Mark to a 5-year contract worth $570,000, with his first season guaranteed at $45,000. Mark's impact was immediate and dramatic. In his rookie season, he set a team record with 275 blocked shots in 81 games. The Jazz coaches gave him a simple but crucial role: play defense, block shots, and rebound. Mark described finally understanding his purpose as a light bulb experience. The transformation was remarkable. The Jazz went from being perennial losers to playoff contenders almost overnight. Mark's defensive presence helped launch an incredible 20-year streak of playoff appearances. He didn't just change games, he changed the entire culture of the franchise. Mark's defensive dominance reached historic levels. He holds the NBA single-season record for blocks with 456 in the 1984-85 season. His blocks per game average that year was 5.6, also an NBA record. His career average of 3.5 blocks per game remains unmatched. He led the league in blocks 4 different times and was named NBA Defensive Player of the Year twice, in 1985 and 1989. The accolades kept coming. Mark made 5 NBA All-Defensive teams, including 3 first-team selections. In 1989, his exceptional play earned him his only NBA All-Star selection. Throughout his 11-year career, he played every single game for the Utah Jazz, becoming the face of their defensive identity. Beyond the statistics, Mark was beloved for his character. Teammates and opponents alike respected his professionalism and humility. Despite his imposing 7'4" frame, everyone called him a gentle giant. His friendly personality made him approachable to fans and teammates. In Park City, residents saw him not as a basketball star, but as a neighbor and community member. Unfortunately, Mark's career was cut short by health issues. A degenerative back ailment forced him to miss the entire 1993-94 season. The constant physical demands of playing center at his height had taken their toll. In September 1994, Mark announced his retirement from professional basketball. The Jazz honored his contributions by retiring his number 53 jersey in 1996. In 2010, he was inducted into the Utah Sports Hall of Fame. These honors recognized not just his statistical achievements, but his role in transforming the franchise from struggling to successful. Retirement didn't slow Mark down. He transitioned seamlessly into broadcasting, working for KJZZ-TV as a color commentator for Jazz and University of Utah games. He hosted Jazz Tonight and expanded into other media ventures, including Mark Eaton Outdoors on the Outdoor Channel and Sports Health Today, an internationally syndicated radio show. Mark also became a highly successful motivational speaker and author. His book, The 4 Commitments of a Winning Team, shared lessons from his unlikely journey from mechanic to NBA star. He earned the Certified Speaking Professional designation, the highest international measure of competence in the speaking profession. Major corporations like IBM, FedEx, T-Mobile, and Phillips 66 hired him to share his message about teamwork and perseverance. His business ventures included serving as managing partner in 2 award-winning Salt Lake City restaurants, Tuscany and Frank's. But perhaps his most meaningful work was through the Mark Eaton Standing Tall for Youth Foundation, which provided sports and outdoor opportunities for over 3,000 at-risk children in Utah. Mark also gave back to his fellow players. He served as president and board member of the National Basketball Retired Players Association from 1997 to 2007, advocating for retired NBA players' needs and benefits. His connection to basketball continued through mentorship. Mark worked closely with Jazz center Rudy Gobert, who became only the 2nd player in Jazz history to win NBA Defensive Player of the Year. This mentorship represented a direct continuation of Mark's defensive legacy within the organization. Mark's love for the outdoors was genuine and lifelong. He enjoyed mountain biking, fishing, and skiing in the Utah mountains. He had ordered custom bikes throughout his life to accommodate his exceptional height, including a custom mountain bike in the 1980s and later a custom French-built road bike. On that tragic day in May 2021, Mark was simply enjoying another bike ride near his home when the accident occurred. The Utah Office of the Medical Examiner worked to determine the exact cause of death, though authorities found no indication of foul play or vehicle involvement. The basketball community mourned deeply. The Utah Jazz organization called him an enduring figure, a friend and ambassador, and a staple of the community. Fans remembered him as a class act, a true professional, and someone who never forgot his humble beginnings as a mechanic. Mark Eaton's legacy transcends basketball statistics. His story proves that greatness can emerge from the most unexpected places. He showed that with perseverance, dedication, and the right opportunity, anyone can achieve extraordinary things. His journey from a 3-minute high school player to an NBA defensive icon inspires athletes and non-athletes alike. More importantly, Mark demonstrated that true success isn't just about personal achievement, but about lifting others up. Through his foundation, his mentorship, and his community involvement, he used his platform to make a positive difference. His gentle nature, combined with his towering presence, created a unique combination that touched countless lives. Mark Eaton's life was a remarkable narrative of transformation, achievement, and service. Though his story ended tragically on a quiet Utah road, his impact continues to inspire. He proved that it's never too late to discover your potential and that the greatest victories often come from helping others reach theirs.